Hey, what's going on, everyone? Shiva Sakura here with another Tesla video. Today I'm going to show you how to install this really awesome ambient light for your trunk and frunk to instantly get them lighter. So at nighttime when you're approaching it, this light do add quite a bit of light, so it becomes very visible. But what is really cool about this new company is it comes from a company called Vicky's. This is the first time we're working with them, but all the stuff that they have sent me with the app and everything is really promising. They feel more like a premium company such as Enhance because their app is really user-friendly and it works really good. It's not one of the cheap Chinese apps. They actually developed this on their own and they got all that control and everything. And their packaging, their QR codes, everything, they are doing full digital just like Enhance does. So really excited for this company. But in the app, it is super amazing that you can completely turn this light off, but you can also go change the color pattern. You can go and go through different options. You can go through different colors, and it's really sensitive and it instantly works when you are changing between this. So it's amazing. You can just keep it as white color, blue color, rainbow, whatever you want. And I'm gonna show you how to do this on both the front as well as on the trunk. So as I said, this product was sent to us free of charge by Vicky's to review in our channel. They've got a lot of products and we're going to be reviewing quite a few of this in the future. And their website looks very slick, as I said earlier. And these are the products that we are reviewing. So if we go to Model 3, they have this for Model Y, Juniper as well. But these are the two products that we're reviewing. The Highland, this is the frunk, and then this is the trunk. So those are the two RGBs. As you see, there's $89. They are in sale, so I don't know how long, but I'm going to show you how you can knock that price down quite a bit. So that's what you get with this both products. And if you click on it, it gives you all the information about what they are. And you can hit, if you want to check it out, you can hit add to cart. So if we go to cart, I have put those into the cart here. And if I go check out, if you look at it here, they put a auto code that gives you $10 off. So making the total to $168. But if you were to go over here and put SHIVA-TESLA, so go to Shiva Tesla and hit apply, that code becomes $20 off. So that gives you $10 more discount on those two packets there. So I'm going to put the link down below for those. And this is how you can save some money. This is affiliate code. So we do earn a very small commission and no additional cost to you, which greatly helps us bring videos like this in the future. Thank you very much. Let's continue. So these are the boxes. Here's the front light, and then there is the trunk light here. And this is the first time we're working with this company, but I'm really impressed with their packaging. This is more like a Apple or an Enhanced type of packaging. As you see, they put QR code, install video here. They put app download, how to customize. This is really nicely done because we don't get this often. So just wanted to give them kudos for nice packaging. So when we open this, they of course have all the hardware here, the wiring. I'm going to show you how to do this here in just a second. They send you a little card here, and then they send you the actual LED strip, which is, thick, and I'll show you again in detail. But if you look at it, there is no instructions manual or anything because everything is digitally done with here. You just have to scan this to get the instructions on how to install this. So this is the trunk kit here. They send you some zip ties, which is great. They send you the control unit, the wiring that plugs into the little ambient light in the back. And then this is the unit itself. It's really high quality just from a first glance here. This is not one of the cheap LED strip. It's not just the strip. It has the full enclosure, diffuser, and everything built in here. And as you see, it is thick. It's a really good quality material. So we're just going to be putting this inside through the weather stripping on the back there. So for the power for a Tesla Model 3, you gotta bypass the back LED. I'll show you where that is. But for Model Y, there's gonna be the cigarette lighter port where you can just plug it in. But for Model 3, because you need to bypass, this is going to be a Y connector to the rear trunk LED. That brings the power here. We're just going to simply connect this to this port and then plug one end of this LED here. This LED goes and plugs in here. Looks like they even have LED 1 and LED 2, but we're gonna just do the LED 1. So for Model 3 Highland, we need to take this power plug and then connect to that light or on the other side, it doesn't matter. For Model Y, they just give you the 12-volt back cigarette lighter port. So this is the one that we need to bypass. As you see, it has a fuse here, which is great.
Now, we need to first remove this panel just a little bit, pry it out so we get access to that light from the back here. And to do that, you just have to grab this panel from the corner and then simply pull this down. There's just like one clip here. You're not really breaking it, it's just attached to that. That's how it attaches. You can do more, but it is not necessary. You can just get access to that light from just removing that one clip. And this is what that clip looks like here. As you see, it just has this bracket that just need to pull down, and that's what you get. So now it allows us to look inside and be able to just kind of pry this carpet out. If you look at it there, that's the light we're after. Now for this light here, you just pull this gently down, as I said, and you are able to access that light right there. That's the one that we're after. And if you look at very closely here, it is just a little pin in the middle. So all you have to do is pinch on this middle tab here, and while holding that down, you have to pull the light out. So then the light turns off because we just took that out. Now what you do is take the new harness that you got with this kit, and then there's male and female. So you remove the male end from this light. Now you take that male end and basically plug it into the female end of this new harness that you get here. So plug it in, it clicks into its place. Then you take the new male end that came with the kit, the harness, and basically go over here and then simply plug it in. Now you got the light back, we got a Y connector. Now this is powered. Now we can use this to power our LED. Now we take this is the male end that came out of that plug, and then get our controller that came with the kit and basically plug it into this black controller piece here. You can't get this wrong because it only goes one way, and the more gap that you have is where that notch is going to go. So what you do is simply plug this in. So now this is powered, the control unit is powered. Then we can go ahead and take our LED. So this is the one end of the LED, and either LED 1 or LED 2, doesn't matter. Again, same deal, we're gonna take this and simply plug it in here. And as soon as we plug it in, the LED will light up. So you know that this is working. So this is fully powered now. We just need to hide this controller and then use this LED all around. Now for wire management of this, what we do is we peel off this back of the Velcro from this controller box here, and we're just going to hide this. So you can prop this open and basically take this all the way in, and then you're gonna stick it at this corner or basically anywhere you like, but this is a pretty good hiding spot here, which makes this super clean and easy. So we'll just hide that there. Now we can actually just safely put this all back, and it wouldn't even, like if you didn't know that it is there, you wouldn't even notice once everything is back that it is back there. So that's how we are able to get all of this powered and wired. So at this point we have passed the wire through the back, and now we just need to start inserting this light inside the weather stripping. And it's super easy. The preferred method is we go from the top right corner towards the left and then just make our way here, and then the end is gonna just come here. So you just wanna follow the counterclockwise direction all the way through. That is because they have some kind of a pattern on their app. Super simple step. We just have to insert this underneath this weather stripping here, and then the light is just going to be reflected on the bottom. As I say, you start on this corner here, and as you look at it, it's just, your job is just to slide this, and it fits really well underneath this weather stripping without affecting the trunk closing or anything. And the light is gonna be reflected here. So we're just gonna have to make our way all the way through. Now the task is to just go around and finish this job all throughout. So when you get to the bottom here, I would still face the light facing this way so that it is consistent throughout. And if you look at it here, it looks really nice as a reflected light all throughout here. So it gives you the consistency. You could kind of face it up, but I would recommend facing it just straight out. Now, when you get to the edge here, as you look at it, it did find the two joints there. Both of them, you are able to connect it. You can hide this a little bit forward if you don't want any of this like a raised edge, but this doesn't affect the functionality or anything. And if you look at it, it looks really nice, and the light is fully installed all throughout. So that was the trunk. Let's move on to the front. Again, same deal here, really nice packaging. They send you everything, and the package is gonna look pretty much the same. There's the light here, there's the controller, and the unit where we need to plug in here. Again, I really like their quality. These are very high quality light strip. This is not just that tiny strip. You get the whole diffuser and everything here. And this is waterproof. It is bendable, it's flexible, so makes the installation much easier. Now with this wiring harness, there is two places you need to connect. One is in the actual front button bypass here. I'm gonna show you, super easy. And then you need to route this one wire to a ground terminal. We're gonna show you how you can route this. You don't have to remove this entire front panel. There's ways you can route this to the front by the battery, but I'm gonna show you where to do that. But that's about it, because then this will get the power and the ground. And they do have a fuse here. They're being extra safe, so they have a fuse and the ground. The other kits that we have seen don't even have a fuse or the ground, so I'm glad that they're thinking about safety here in case something does go wrong. So they are protecting your front button and your Tesla by adding those, but that does mean you have a little bit more work to do to install this. You do need two things. One is a pry tool like this, so you can pry out this panel, and then you're gonna need a 10mm socket, so you're gonna need that wrench as well. Now the first step on this process is to completely remove this weather stripping here, and super simple. You just take this out, put this on the side. Next, we need to remove this panel here, and you can just use a standard pry tool, like a plastic pry tool, and then prop this out. If you look at it here, it's just coming out. If you have never removed this, it may be a little stubborn, but it just comes out, and this is where we're gonna get the power for this. Now what we do is simply pull on this plug here. It just comes out, you don't have to press on anything. Then you take this new wire harness, and it is going to have a bypass here, so there is going to be male and female. So you take the new female adapter that came with the kit and simply plug it into the Tesla's male adapter, and it only goes one way, so it will just click into its place, so that is good. Then you take the other end of this, so this is the new male adapter, and simply plug into the same place where you removed this from earlier. So it is this location here. You plug it in, and now you made this happy because it is a Y connector here and everything is good. Now we just need to plug in the LED. The way you know this was a success is when this lights up, so that is good. We're good, we have power there, and we have made that pass through Y connector, but now we still need to route this ground. So for this, we're gonna remove these two 10mm sockets, and then we're gonna route that ground cable from the side here to the front. And to do that, we first need to remove this panel here. This just lifts off. There's nothing there, just a couple of pins. So you can go from both sides and take this one completely out. So as you see, there is just a bunch of pins on the back that are just connected here. Now we are able to see that ground plug that we're gonna plug it to. Now the next step is to be able to route this ground cable to this location in the front right there. So for us to be able to do that, we have to route it from the front going to the side and all the way through. What would be the easiest way is to pass this cable from here and then take it out right here, and then you can hide the cable by lifting this. So if you lift this slightly, if you look at it, it does prop out a little bit where you should be able to have a clearance to route this, but if you get to the side here, it may become a little bit harder. So what I would recommend is at least removing this 10mm socket. You could also remove that so that there is more clearance, but at least you gotta remove this so that we can route it through here to the gap, kind of going there, and then there to the ground plug. So we'll just go in with a 10mm socket and basically get this out. So once we remove this here, it allows us to then lift this panel safely. So this is here, I would put this back. Then if you look at it here, this just opens up big time where we can then hide the cable underneath. So for that, we're gonna have to take this and then pass it through here. So we're gonna find a good location from the top, do it as far as possible so you're not affecting the latching mechanism at all. So you can lift this and then try to pass this. You don't need a fishing tool or anything. This is super easy. This just comes right out. And as I said, try to go this far as possible from this latch because there is a bunch of latching mechanism there. You don't wanna mess with any of that. And then, of course, you want to leave enough slack for the control box and everything because we're going to be trying to hide that on the side. So now this has been passed. I'm just going to do a quick check to make sure I can reach that. Looks like we are good to go. So now what I'm going to do is then just start lifting this and then hiding the cable underneath there. You see, it just works that way. You may need a pry tool to just get some leverage so that you can hide the cable. So there you go, there you go. And yeah, just your job is now just to take this cable all the way through. As I said, again, just following the same process here of just propping this out and hiding the cable underneath there. That allows you to completely hide this so it is not visible at all. Right there. And we're just going to keep doing that until we reach the top. And this is already looking pretty good. Now, if you do the same thing all the way up here, you can see the cable. I would pass this cable through the back like of all of this, and our goal is to connect it right here to that ground port. Now, this connection is super straightforward. You just have to undo this 10mm bolt here, just a little bit. You don't have to do too much. And once you undo this, you can go ahead and slide this ground connector that came with the kit. I think we have to do a little bit more. So go here, we do that, and then now we're able to simply slide this in to the back. Make sure that it slides and sticks to the back. So now that is good to go. Now we're able to just go ahead and tighten this in. So there you go. Make sure that it is tight. The cable is not gonna come off. And we are good to go. We have the ground connection there. Now, one thing I would say is on the wire routing process, I would actually leave this cable on this end a little bit towards this side because we want to hide the control box in the back here, because if you try to hide it here, there's still some connection for the frunk that if you ever need to remove it, that might become tedious. I mean, you could technically hide it right here, but I would recommend hiding in the back so that it is much easier to take it out in the future. But again, as I said, like you could just literally just put it here, but I don't want anything interfering with the latch mechanism. That's why I would recommend putting it here. But we first need to check to make sure this works. So for that, we would just plug this port here, and then we're gonna grab our LED here to make sure that this is all working before we start putting it away, and then put it on the LED 1. And when we do that, initially the LED might not lit up because it has been a while since we opened this. So you can just press on this frunk, and I think the LED is coming back online here. So I saw the flickering there, and I think it's, yep, now it is turning on. So we are good to go. Everything is working. This is functional. The LED is lit up. Now we can hide this and put this away, and then we can start just routing this whole thing in. So as I said, it's super simple. You just have to peel off this adhesive cover that is in the back. And I really like that they made this a Velcro instead of just a straight up 3M adhesive, because it helps, because then if you ever need to remove it, this thing just comes out. You don't need a heat tool or anything. So I would take this, and there is plenty of space down here in the bottom where you can just simply put it on this side, because there is not that latching mechanism, this one, on the way, and you can just hide it right here, and this is good to go. Now this is hidden. We can then put this back on and just leave the wiring in place. Doesn't matter which way you want to start routing the wiring, but that's where you would leave that. At this point, you can go ahead and put this back on, this 10mm that you removed, because we're done routing the wires. So now at this stage, you got the wiring there. Push it again as to the right as you can, and they want us to align this piece here on the very middle. And if you look at the LED here, it needs to face towards the bottom, and then this giant gap needs to be on the top because that is where the weather stripping is gonna go. And then they have a little notch here, if you look at it, that just runs, and that's the one that is gonna hold on to this little gap area here. And what they want us to do is just align this into the very, very middle, and then just keep routing this towards the right so that we can go ahead and close this out. At this point, you can safely put this bracket back on, and to do that, you just have to kind of align this from the top to the bottom, and then you make sure that the holes are in place. There is nothing that is holding it in back, and then you just simply push this in. So that's what you get. You do see a little bit of a wire right now. We're gonna see if there is a way we can get rid of that wire, but for now there is gonna be that wire. Now our job is to simply route this around and take it all the way through. So as I said, this tiny notch that is on the side needs to be slide in here. It's not difficult at all. You can just make your way through this whole thing super easily. Just align this and push it into this void. And we're gonna keep doing that all throughout. Don't let this come off because there is no glue or anything, so it could come off. So you have to be patient and make sure that you are taking a look at the whole strip while you are doing this and having enough slack around. So we're just going to keep doing that all throughout. So I've gone around and put this in. There is a little bit of a gap here. No matter what I do, I don't seem to get rid of that, but we're gonna put the weather stripping, and that gap is probably not gonna be visible anyways. But this is what it looks like. It actually goes in and embeds it very, very nicely. Almost look like a weather stripping in place. So you see that everything, the ridges and everything, they did a really good job to fit this. Now we're ready to put this weather stripping back. Usually that little joint that you see goes in the very middle on the top area, but yours might be different, and also it doesn't really matter. You should be able to fit this in regardless. And so basically you just go around and put it into its place. Because this has a large enough gap, this LED, putting this weather stripping shouldn't be hard at all. So you just go around, push this into its place, and just make your way into putting the weather stripping back on. Now this is good, but you need to go around and make sure that this is all flushed in. Take your time, go around, push this down. There shouldn't be any gap, otherwise it might, interfere with the frunk, especially if you have auto frunk. This might interfere with auto frunk closing. So I'm gonna go around and make sure that this is all good to go. Now you are ready to just put this back exactly how you removed it earlier. Just align this, drop it in, and everything is just going to get aligned. Push it down, and the install is done. Now this is done. As you can see, the light is very visible, and you can see the light reflected on the side. It almost looks purple, but this is pure white light here, and all of this is good to go. From this angle, like a user angle, you're not gonna be able to see the joint, but if you kind of lean in, you will be able to see a little bit of a joint and the wire coming through. I don't think there is a way of fixing that. Maybe this LED was a bit shorter on my case. Every Tesla is made slightly differently. I don't know what it is, but this is the best I could do. But it's not bad. I mean, I can barely even see it unless like I'm digging deep, but this should provide a lot of light at night. I'll show you the before and after here. Now to download the app, you just have to go over here, and then they direct you to Android versus Apple, and you're able to download the app through there. The app is called Wikis, so when you download this, it's gonna take you there, and right now it makes you go through the setup. You just have to put your name and stuff and then sign up for this, and then you can go here and add a device. So let's do that device together. Looks like ambient LED is here, so we're going to hit OK. Now that is connected, and as you see, it says ambient LED is connected, and now we just have to activate it. Looks that is the Frunk one, so did that, and it says, are you the owner to be able to activate it? Otherwise it doesn't let us activate. Yes, I am the owner, and look, we are good to go. Now we can use this to make changes to the LEDs. You can set the brightness first of all. So if you want the brightness to be lower, that adjusted, I can see the brightness going up or down. So now it is at full brightness. You saw that, it just took a second. We have selected this as a color palette, and you can go over here and you can select the colors you want. So like red, blue, green, whatever color that you want. It just updates it real time there. You can also choose something like this, and that's really cool that you are able to select the color that you want. But if you want it to do different things, you can go to color palette, and then if you say full blackout, it just turns off the light. So that means there is no light there. But you can do radiant beat, that's what it does. You can do radiant beat 1, and that's based on the color that you have choose. So it is doing that purple there, but if we were to go over here and select blue, then it is going to change back when we select the, so if you look at it right there, it has started going blue there. So that's the radiant beat. Meteor, rain 1, that's pretty cool. Glowing bread, green, rainbow, so this is rainbow 0. I really like that, how if you look at it, it does a really good job there with the rainbow. And if you have noticed that this has turned off, right? While we're playing with it, it turned off because the Tesla's power went out on that little button. It doesn't last very long. If you leave the frunk open for a while, it's just gonna turn off. All you have to do is go over here and press on a button, and then now you're gonna see this thing pop up again. So it's just gonna take a second for that light. There you go. Now you see the light is started. So if you have it open and it stopped working, that is why. And it will just show up here in just a second on the app because we have already added that there. But that's what the setting that we have chose, and if you see, it is a really nice rainbow color effect there. So again, that's the rainbow 0, energetic run. If you want that to go super, look at that. Oh, that's great. Dynamic glow, you can see that. Dazzling opening. There's just so many options that you can set for this, so that's pretty cool. And then full blackout is turned off, and then you can just do one color set, just one color, and forget it. Radiant beat, so it will do that. That's the rain. This is the gradient color, so it just changes between different color. So you get the idea. You can do all of this here. So of course we have to do before and after. So this is the before. So if you didn't have this light, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like after. As you see, it instantly changes the light inside there. Before, after. You can even see that little baggie that I put in there. If I was to turn it off, that becomes super dark. There is a little light that goes on the front, but you can clearly see the difference that you get with this light in there versus if you didn't have that light. Now, same thing with the trunk. We're gonna go ahead and set up a new device. And just like the frunk, now we're able to adjust the setting where we can change the brightness. The color pattern here is, color plat, but like we can go and change that color. So if we want green, blue, as you see, it is changing the color in there. So there you go. If we wanted to leave this into blue color, that's the reflection that you get there with the blue. And then if you can go full blackout, of course, that is turning it off. Color plat, this is radiant beat. As you see, just like the frunk, it is just going to cycle through various things. There you go. There you go. Glowing bread, radiant color, rainbow. Really like that soft rainbow that goes through. Rainbow 1, energetic run. So if you have a block party, I think your car would be a hit. You can see all of this, so that's what you get. I mean, again, full blackout, turn off. Color is what you have set this to, and if you go to white, this is what you're gonna get. So I'm gonna give you a quick before and after on the trunk. So this is before we added the LED light. This is just with the Tesla's light, and this is with the LED light. As you can see, there's a huge difference on how much light that you get. Again, before, after, before, after. So you instantly get more light. So one feedback I have for them that they are working on is once we open the trunk, you don't get that light instantly. So you look at it, it's coming up, and it just takes about a second to do this. So I want it to be instant, right? Like turn on the light, and I think it just takes the controller a little bit of time to boot up there, but I wish you could just instantly do this instead of taking that time. So they're looking into that through the app. And that's the exact same thing with the Frunk. When you first open it, it is a little bit dark, and now it's going to slowly come up. It just takes, look, it just took a second, but I wish it was just like this at all times where you can see the difference very clearly. So what do y'all think about this light for the trunk and the Frunk? Do you see value on it? For me, going from this to this has an instant difference, right? You have this blackout there with the color now with the light. You can see a lot more thing inside your trunk and Frunk. So for me, it definitely has value, but I'm always interested in knowing your feedback. That's why we test all of this even at nighttime. That's what it is supposed to be, not just to show you how to do the install, but to really show you what this looks like. I think these are great. It gives you that choice here, and if you just want to leave it as a white light like this, it gives you more visibility inside. You can see things a little bit better. But if you have a party, as I said, I think things like rainbow or even the energetic run, that is just going to make your car stand out. Block parties are gonna get wild with this light here. It's a very high quality product, and I really like it. And as I said in the beginning, these Vixies, the company, seem to be really good with high quality products. All of the stuff that we have seen so far have been really high quality. They already sent me a few other items that we're gonna be showing you in the channel, and their app is really good. Again, it reminds me of Enhance. The way that they're doing things gives me a good vibe and confidence. Let's see how it goes, but the product, this is amazing. I think it definitely adds value. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back again soon. Thank you very much.